Hello everyone. I just wanted to show you all the strawberry patch that I maintain. They're coming in. It's a few weeds here and there, but they're very easy to pull up, very sparse. And I just come through and pull them as I go. Anyways, I want to teach you how to make a large strawberry patch just like this, okay? Now my video is going to go step by step into how it's done. So you can see here that there's some development here, and I want to tell you a little bit of secret about these strawberries. Some of these plants are over a foot tall, and no one comes out here. There's no irrigation. And all we do is at the end of the growing season, we cover it with about an inch or so of wood chips. That's arborist wood chips, and I'll show you what they are right here. That's all it is. It's just chunky old wood chips. And we get them from Leonardo's in our area for free. And they build soil. Look how black this is. This is without anybody coming in here and watering any of this. Look how moist it is. I mean, it did just rain a little while ago, but not very much. But look at that. I can just dig down with my hand and just... Oh wow. This smells like the forest, like it's supposed to. Anyway, the wood chips are arborist chips, and they have leaves, twigs, branches on them. And they come to us that way. We let them sit next to the edge of the woods and get kind of like inoculated with the local mushroom population. So we have mushrooms growing out of our pile, and it just gets older and older and better. And we also sift the bottom of the pile and mix that in with soil and stuff like that. And we use that over our beds as like a compost. And that's been working for us. Anyway, back to the strawberries, just to kind of give you a little bit more info. In the spring, once they all pop up, they're all perfectly spaced apart, so you don't have to do any thinning. And it is the most potent way I've learned to grow strawberries. This field right here, this patch of strawberries, is not even a quarter of the potential it could be. I have another one over there that's working its way out to becoming a lot larger. All you need to do if you want to start a really large patch right away is take out either till the ground and add a bunch of compost or whatever. You don't have to do that. You could just scrape the ground and put the strawberries on, and at the end of the year cover them with wood chips, and as they come up with the weeds, just pull out the weeds, and then eventually you'll win with just the strawberries and they'll take over. And after about the third year or so, if you have really crappy soil, it'll be black just like mine, and it will just be awesome. The water retention quality of wood chips, it's just great. Make sure that if you put the wood chips down, you wet everything so it actually has moisture to retain, and not just like, you know, it's not just protecting the ground from getting moisture, if you will. And initially, if you're looking at like starting an area beforehand, and it's going to be a few years before you get to it, put on about 4 inches of wood chips over the whole ground area, and you'll be able to have a beautiful garden ready to go in 3 years. I guarantee it. It's the easiest way to have a garden. Just make sure that you wet the area down and have the right kind of wood chip. If you use, and this is going to be a little bit more in depth for people that want to do things quicker. Right before the springtime, before everything starts leafing out, there's going to be branches that have a lot of sugars in their growth tips and everything like that. And before it leaves out, it's got all that energy stored in it. And if you take those branches from like fruit trees or whatever and cut them up into like 1/4 inch pieces, no bigger than 2 1/4 inch pieces of wood that you want to have chopped up, so nothing really too big. So make sure that's chopped up into like 1/4 inch pieces of wood chip, and you probably need a commercial grade wood chipper for that. And then you can actually mix that in with your soil. Yeah, it's the only kind of wood chip that you can do that with. I wouldn't recommend taking these big clunky pieces of wood chips that are like 720 nitrogen, mixed with the leaves and stuff. I wouldn't do that. You don't ever want to do that. You always want to leave it on top. But if you have that specific kind of wood chip, you can do that. So, and what it'll do is it'll retain moisture, it'll feed the fungal network, which we have a lot of mushrooms that come up specifically in this garden. Everything is growing really well. I'd show you the rest, but in another video. So that's just one of my strengths. I actually helped even put the strawberry patch in here. So I've helped it develop quite a bit. So you can see that it's loaded. I mean, every plant is just loaded with strawberries. And we don't cover these up at all. You want to know why? Because there's so many strawberries that grow that we don't have to worry about the birds. We don't have to worry about the critters coming and getting a snack. The idea is to grow more than enough and for everyone. So that's the way I approach it. That's the way I feel like other people could approach it, unless you have a limited space. We're gonna let this patch grow further on into other areas. So, not to mention, we've got grapevines in here, elderberry, there's raspberries, blackberries, there's all kinds of berries. We got fruit trees growing in the wood chip areas. It's an awesome thing. It creates quite the environment for growth to exponentially find its way into the garden. So anyway, I just thought I'd have a nice short video for you guys in YouTube land. Now, if you'd like one of these strawberry patches put in for yourself, my LLC is called the Soil Initiative Project, and I will come to your backyard if you are in my local area especially, and I can install you one of these strawberry patches if you want your own personal strawberry patch. And now it depends on the time of year that we get things in, and yada yada. We're a little later on, so there's always starting things cheaper and earlier, and I'm so quick when it comes to doing stuff that I do have to charge a little bit more for my services, because I'll often come in and be done with whatever it is in an hour or two, and that's just not worth it if I'm traveling far. And anyway, I do design food forests. That's what I do for my business, And if you want fruit trees put in, you want asparagus put in, if you want a whole no-till garden put in, I can have the compost delivered to your house through Kroll's Composting. If you want, me to make you a garden, I'll actually come and I'll plant you a garden. But you have to pay me for that. I've got hundreds of pounds of potatoes that could go in. I do a surface planting technique that's very easy. I feel like I've got a lot of the bases covered when it comes to bioaccumulators. I also offer Korean natural farming. If you want to do a spray every week, I can get that going. It's just with the fish amino acid and the fermented plant juice, and I could use the water soluble calcium, and there's another one, the oriental herbal nutrient, which is quite a bit more to make. And then anyway, not to go into too much of that, but I do come through and I will treat my trees with the Korean natural farming. I know that there's a particular peach tree in this garden that has leaf curl, and I will treat the garden with the Korean natural farming, and I'll get back to you guys on how the results are. I'm interested to see if it can treat leaf curl, and I am going to be making an IMO batch of the local mycelium that I got here in the garden that's an edible mushroom, and I'll be spreading that around to the rest of the garden, hopefully getting that going. And yeah, that's just kind of what's going on for me, and I love you guys, and ladies. Please like, subscribe, and post a comment down low. Any questions you might have. I'm not looking to really be the one in the spotlight. However, I know that I need to broadcast what I do to some people, because otherwise it wouldn't reach you. So, goodbye.